There we go. I think we lost Kim. I'll just let her know that I just joined. All right. So I super excited. I want to share something with you, and I'm sure it's because you put it out into the ethers yesterday about wanting to know a little bit more about like your purpose. And so I am taking a human design course, and I've been plugging away at it because I've also been studying for I just got finished studying for my bachelor's and I moved into my master's. But yesterday I started this book, the Human Design Workbook by Karen Curry Parker, and it's available on Amazon. And I read it yesterday, so it's an easy read. I didn't spend time studying all of all of the energy centers, just mostly focused on my very own. And then Jacob was having some challenges yesterday, so was kind of working around the projector. He's a projector energy yesterday. And so anyhow, it's called the Human Design Workbook by Karen Curry Parker. And it's so cool because in the book, she explains what each of the planets represents in your life. So on your human design chart. So for example, Saturn is your learning energy. And the gates highlighted by Saturn challenge you, meaning that you're likely to experience the shadow or lower expression of the gate in a cataclysmic way that can ultimately help you learn and mature. Saturn's also associated with two major life cycles, one at the end of your 20s and one at the end of your 50s. And during these phases of life, your Saturn challenge will be most important and at the forefront of your awareness. And then it goes on to explain a bit more. And so then she also gives a brief explanation of each gate. So it's not the full explanation from that you'll see in other books, but it's really brief. So for example, gate 5, and then she has the patterns. So she gives you like one like simple word, and then she gives you the theme, the life lesson, and what happens when it's imbalanced, contemplation, so questions for you to ask yourself, and then affirmations under each gate. But the coolest thing is I love good affirmations. So I love simple. So then it gives you in the back of the book, she gives you like a fill in the blank kind of piece, and you fill in the blank with each of the gates, both in the unconscious and conscious side. And so here is what the first, so this is why I was like, oh, Anne, you're so brilliant. Like, you wanted this question, you put it out to the universe, and the universe made it into form. Look at how fucking powerful you are. And thank you, because this was so much fun. So the first statement is, I powerfully and passionately declare that my life purpose is to, and then you fill in the blanks from so this is your conscious sun and your unconscious sun gate theme. So it's so cool. So you could, if you're a geek like me, you could read it every single day as a reminder, and it's everything, like it's all of the gates. So I powerfully and passionately declare that my life purpose is to, and then you fill it in. And to do this, I allow, create, and receive, and then it's another one. And so to show you how bang on, I'm going to share mine. So I powerfully, and just the first one, because there's like 26 sentences. But I powerfully and passionately declare that my life purpose is to see patterns that create pain and transform that pain into alignment of purpose. And I translate a personal experience into powerful narratives that teaches and gives directions to others, transmuting pain into power. That's what it tells me that my life purpose is. And so for me, it was so cool because as much as I've read the different human design or the different gene keys, it's like bits and pieces here and there, but this puts it in a really succinct way, tells you how to go about doing it. So I wouldn't say it's more powerful than the other work that's out there, but the power in it is it's in words that we would understand, and it's in complete sentences. And so then you can follow it along, right? And so for those of you who like to geek out, this is the one, Human Design. I would recommend this Human Design piece by Karen Curry Parker. So super excited. And as I said, it's a simple and easy read. So yesterday when we were talking about business, and I think we're talking about marketing even a little bit more, and just talking about the simplicity of business being the 3 pillars. And this has kind of been the theme that I've been shown over and over again. And so part of this theme is to define what success in your life would feel like, and to bring in the 5 senses as much as possible. And then once you make that decision of what a successful life for you is, and you can do it in a specific way or a non-specific way, you'll be called to do it one way or the other, meaning there's no right way. And so when you start doing that, then you're starting to define what success means for you. And then you can take those steps towards that particular success. The download that I received this morning was, when we're doing this, to look at success in our life in all areas of our life. So not just business or revenue success or professional success, but what would an epic life, so I use that lots in my podcast, what would an epic life look like and feel like for you? And it was so interesting because one of my gates is called the sensual, and it's about the body. And I've had a really hard time, difficult time when I read about it, that I'm just like, this is so not where I'm at. And don't even know if I ever have been. And so yesterday when I was doing the work, it was like, oh, that's because I'm in the shadow part of this particular gate. This is the struggle I'm having. And what it talked about was that your body is the vehicle for your soul. Your body is the vehicle for your soul. And your soul requires your body to live the life that it's designed to live. And so I've heard this different ways many times, but I think you'll find that for yourself, you might hear something kind of over and over again, but when it finally resonates with you, when you're finally at the vibration or the frequency to receive it, it will feel like, for me, it feels like an aha moment, right? It's like a mic drop moment. And so part of what I know that I'm to share with my community is to express that we are a triune being. We are mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and divine. However you want to say that. And it's so important that we have, if we're to have any balance and harmony in our life, it's the balance or harmony of the triune being. And a lot of us spend a lot of time in one area, right? We'll spend a lot of time in our mind. We might spend a lot of time in the soul or in the heart, like coming from the heart, or we might spend a lot of time in the body, but we're not creating that balance. And so the message that I received yesterday and this morning was very clear that that we focus on the triune, focus on all 3 aspects of that. So we've talked about not having your mind, your brain make the decision about what you're going to do, like what your business looks like. So talking to your business, creating your business or your profession as the energy or entity that it is. And we could do the same thing with our soul, talking to our divine, what's our soul purpose or the divine, or what What are we meant to do today? What inspired action are we meant to take? Now, interestingly enough, we need the body and the mind and the soul to take inspired action, but we may have forgotten that we are required all three components. And it's the same thing with the body. What does your body desire, right? Like from a divine perspective, what does your body desire? And one of the challenges that entrepreneurs have is that they don't, in my experience, they don't spend a lot of time honoring or focusing on what their body desires, what their body actually requires. In fact, a pattern that a lot of us have is to sacrifice the body in order to build the business or build the profession. And so then what happens when we sacrifice the body, and I'm not talking just about movement or physical health, right? But even like being stressed, like sacrificing, right, the body for the outcome that we're trying to control. But what if when we were making decisions, we actually checked in with all three components? What if we asked our body what it would like to eat today? Or, and I've heard this before, but it was like, for me, it was like, I understood it, but I didn't embody it. So what if we asked our body, what do you want to do today? Do you want to have movement today? Do you want to do, meditation today? Do you want more rest today? And we utilized the brilliant triune being that we are, and we tapped into all three of those resources or all three of those sources on a consistent basis. So what if we were aware that, yes, we have an ego, and our ego is important because our ego wants us to be safe and secure. That's the number one goal, is to be safe and secure. What if, and I don't know this, but what if our body's number one goal was to be the vehicle for our soul purpose? So our soul resides in our body, if we can go there. And so what if that's the physical body was meant for that? And so then, and the mind is meant for the balance of the intellect, to the conscious thoughts that we have. And we are both a conscious and unconscious, right? So if we go back to Dr. Thurman Fleet's Stickman, and we looked at it from that perspective, right? So we have the bottom part is the unconscious and the top part is the conscious, and we're creating balance between the two, right? We're asking different questions. We're being in awareness. So we're consciously aware of when we're facing a limiting belief or not, right? And then we have this capacity to tap into the beautiful resources that we have, which is the triune being, the body, the mind, and the soul. And so what if everything that we want to create, so we go into this creation and manifestation piece, and in order to create and manifest, we need the physical form. We need our bodies, right? We because we need to take inspired action, and we need a physical body often to take inspired action. And so if we don't have this balance of the physical body, if we're sacrificing, right, ourselves for our business, or sacrificing ourselves to be in a relationship with someone, or sacrificing, the body, and that's the imbalances that we are creating and experiencing. And so it just gave me this, I guess, epic moment of, and for me personally, balance, harmony has been a challenge, right? I'm kind of like an all or nothing person, have been for, that can be a great asset. It also can be a detriment. And how many other people are all or nothing. And so if you have the attitude of all or nothing, then the challenge with that, of course, is, and this sounds like a duh, but then you're all in or you're not in at all. And so that's can cause, not for sure, right? Nothing is ever like 100%, but has the possibilities of causing imbalance, has the possibility of creating I would even say the possibility of having guilt and shame, because there's a part of us that is aware of what we like, of what behaviors are required, like what actions we're to take. And it can feel like an internal fight, right? An internal fight a lot of the time. And I think the internal fight is the fight between within the triune being. But if how do I say this? English, please. If we approach things from the triune perspective, there's like no scales of justice. Like there's no like balancing in this way, right? When you approach it from this triune perspective, then everything becomes more balanced. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. It's a sense that I have. It's a knowing that I can feel in my body. I'm just having a hard time expressing it in English. Eventually, I'll be able to mind meld with people. That's my goal. Is just to sit here and radiate energy out so you can just receive it in the way that you're meant to. Excuse me. And so moving forward today, what if you approached it with this triune perspective in mind? So if you're going to go do something, check in with your mind, check in with your soul, like your right, check in with your body. And we rely less on our intellect and brain power, which is not a bad thing, but creating more of this balance. So it's not about throwing ego away. It's not about throwing the intellect away. It's not what I'm saying at all, but approaching things differently. Approaching things from this perspective of knowing how powerful you are. And so I was 100% serious when I said, Anne's question, it was yesterday, sent out a vibration to the ethers. She had a question, and it sent out this vibration into the universe, into the ethers. And because it was the time for the question to be answered, at least from one perspective, right? I was guided to pick up this book, which I've had for 3.5 months, and I knew I was going to do human design work, but this isn't part of my course. It's just a book she sent us as a bonus. So I was guided to, compelled to start it in the morning, and then compelled to finish it, to complete it during the day. And again, I say compelled. So her powerful question, right? She sent it out. Here's this vibration. Now, because I'm part of her creation, I got to benefit. I got to benefit. I found a piece of the puzzle that I've been looking for, that I've been searching for. We're all connected. So her powerful question led me down a trail. And then I got something that I've been searching for and seeking for like months and months and months and months. The answer came to me because of this connection. And then I, follow my soul, follow my intuition, follow divine guidance to complete it yesterday so that I could have a conversation. And I believe that everything happens for us and nothing happens to us. Like, I was late this morning, like that, and felt, I was like, oh shit, had a jolt. But even that's connected to what the question came yesterday, because there's no coincidences, right? There's no coincidences. And so everything is so powerful. Everything was so powerful. Sorry, thank you, Sherry. So the question that Anne asked was, we're talking about purpose, and her question was related to, and Anne corrected me. So this is my interpretation of the question, was was her not necessarily knowing. So she's received her human design and even received a reading, but really wasn't sure with like what her life purpose was or what the purpose was. And it kind of was attached to, we were talking about setting goals and being really specific and clear with your goals. Was that kind of, that's what my interpretation of what happened yesterday. And then that led to all of the things, right? And so if we just remember that there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything. And if you're listening, and I mean, I don't mean like afterwards if you're listening to the recording, but like if you're listening to the messages, if you're open to receiving the messages and you follow the inspired action, you follow the divine, like this is what's next, right? For me, when I hear the words, you should do this, I know that that's my ego. My ego talks in shoulds. My divine self is, do this. It's more of a, it's not a demand or a command, but it's more of a demand, like it's more of a command, like do this. Go here. Say this. Read this. And it's very soft. It's a very soft-spoken voice, intention. And so if we're willing to be open to receiving, thanks, Tracy, if we're willing to open to receiving the messages on a regular basis, and I won't say daily basis, but I mean, I think that's possible. If we're open to it, the goals that will unfold. And then when you recognize, and this is part of what the last part of the message today is, when you recognize that you're receiving a message, be grateful, be in gratitude. And that's not a, how do I say that? No, I'll just leave it as that. Be grateful. I'm so grateful for Anne's question. I was grateful for the question yesterday. And then as it unfolded, I just like, and I don't know if as all day yesterday was like, oh my God, Anne, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then, you know, and saying to the God of my understanding, oh my God, like, thank you. And it was like, oh my God, thank you. Because I've been struggling with the gate 46 of the body. And I've been having some health challenges, and I have been asking God to show me what I need to do differently. What am I doing? What do I need to do differently? Not what am I doing wrong, but I've been asking for healing. I've been asking and my affirmations have been all around health. I'm 100% healed. I am healthy. I am healing, right? And so the healing came in a completely different way. The healing came in a completely different way. And what I realized yesterday was I was attached to how the healing would look. I was attached to what it would look like, right? Where I would find it, that it would be some sort of new supplement or new crazy like massage, like whatever. And it had nothing to do with that. The healing came from a question that Anne asked that led me on a role, that led me on the discovery, that reminded me that if I'm living in the shadow of this gate 46, that healing cannot happen because I'm living in the shadow frequency of this. And so the healing came completely different. And the verbiage that I had the last couple of weeks was, I'm open to the message, whatever that message looks like. I'm open to being healed. I'm open to healing. And so I let go of how I thought the healing should happen. Right? I let go of the steps. And then the piece that sometimes can feel the most difficult is the faith. And if you don't have a faith in the higher power, then have faith in science, because it's quantum physics as well, right? And the quantum physics states, right, that the formless substance turns into a form with the energy, the vibration of a thought, the energy and vibration of the emotion. That's quantum physics. So whether we go science or we go spiritual, the outcome is the same. And so the question that I'm being guided to ask you is, what parts are you holding on to, right? What outcomes are you holding on to? And you feel like you're holding on to an outcome, but I'm being guided to share with you, you're holding on to how it unfolds, not what unfolds. So we can be clear on how, like the what unfolds, let go of the how does it unfold. Let go of the how. Be specific on the what, but let go of the how. Right? How I thought the healing would unfold is that it would be, again, like I said, some sort of supplement or some sort of like massage or some sort of, physical exercise or some sort of, miracle from that, like a physical miracle was how I thought this would unfold. And the miracle came yesterday, but it wasn't what I thought. And it's because I finally let go of, it has to look like this, right? And I want to be clear, it wasn't a bad thing that I was, I'll use that word. It wasn't, it was the most logical thing to think about, like, right, the steps, the what I thought would help with the healing was the most logical steps. And so what I was looking for was logical steps. I was looking for physical, logical steps. So I was directing divine that the healing would come through physical, logical steps. And when I surrendered, right? And it was a surrender because the conversation I had about 2 weeks ago was like, okay, I don't really know what the fuck to do. Like, I've tried everything that I could possibly try. I've taken every supplement. I've been to countless naturopaths and countless doctors, and no one has an answer for me. So I surrender. And the words actually were, I give up. I not give up my life, but I give up. I give up trying to figure this shit out. If I meant to know, then you're going to show me. If I meant to know, you'll show me. And so then it moved from giving up and from frustration and anger to surrender. Just, okay, so I obviously don't know. I can't. And what was happening was, and thanks for staying a little bit later with me today. What was happening was I was trying to figure shit out. But I didn't know I was trying to figure shit out until yesterday. I was trying to figure it out with my head. Right? I was trying to figure it out with my head. I had lots of conversations with divine, with my higher power. So then I was trying to figure it out with my spirit, in spirit. But I was still trying to figure it out. And I don't think we're meant to figure shit out. And I think that's the biggest crock of shit that we, right, and the biggest lie and the biggest limiting belief is we're trying to figure stuff out. What if you had nothing to figure out? Imagine your life if you could get up in the morning. I have cacao in the morning. I stop coffee, but I'm not drinking coffee. So I'll have a cup of cacao and I don't have to figure out, excuse my language, fuck all. I don't have to figure anything out. I just get to be and follow inspired action. Can you imagine? Like, for me, that brings lots of peace. I know years ago that would have brought me a lot of stress. Like the concept of not trying to figure things out. Because in my family, intelligence is there's a lot of focus on being intelligent. Right? What would change in your life if you didn't have to figure anything out? Would that bring you more peace? Would that bring you a little bit more stress to begin with? Does that feel good? Does that resonate? Are you in resistance to that? Again, no right or wrong, but what would that be like for you to figure stuff out if you didn't have to? And you could just let go of figuring stuff out. And you just followed the path. But the message is you can't follow the path if you're trying to figure things out. You can't follow the path if you're trying to figure it out. So thank you, Anne, with such deep gratitude for, right, asking a question so that I could follow this trail. I just appreciate it, right? So Sherry says, yeah, what if you were just open and surrendered to receive what you're meant to? Exactly. Right? What if we didn't have anything to figure out? And we were just like, to me, that just feels so exciting and peaceful, because I'm always trying to figure shit out. And the greatest gift today so far is that if you would have asked me 12 hours ago, 12 hours ago, I would have said I was not trying to figure shit out. But the beautiful gift given to me is the signs of when I'm trying to figure shit out. Right? And I think everyone's signs will be different, but my signs certainly is this constant feeling of not knowing. That would be mine. And I think it might be different for everybody. Truly, I do. Right. So thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I apologize for being late. And thank you for staying with me a little bit later today. And again, thank you, Anne. Such amazing gratitude for you and who you are, and just your questions and your openness, and just like your being you allowed me to heal. And I just so much appreciate you being here. So thank you. I love you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Love you, ladies. Have an incredible day. Can't wait for tomorrow. It's just going to be an epic day. So, all right. Be well. Bye.